it's Nicole with Realty Masters. I wanted to give you an update on rental rates in 2023. I'm going to tell you where they have been over the last year and where we predict rental rates will go in 2024. Pensacola rental rates have risen nearly 29% since the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020. We have seen over the last year rental rates peak in about March 2023 and have been declining month over month every month since. According to Zillow, we're seeing average rents of about $17.15 per month, and that remains relatively unchanged from last October. But if you look at the data from 2021, you'll see average rents about $16.24 in October, and the data from 2020 rents were only $12.95. That's a huge difference in the monthly payment of Pensacola renters. Days on the market have increased. For 2023, we're seeing an average year-to-date days on the market of 33 days compared to last year of 18 days. So nearly double days on the market. So it's clear that rents have gone down in the Pensacola area. There's a lot of factors that go into whether rents will decrease or remain steady. We're not sure what the sales market is going to do for the coming year, and we will see more renters come into the rental market if they're unable to purchase. So if interest rates remain higher, we anticipate that rents will remain steady. If interest rates go down and more homeowners are able to purchase, we do anticipate a decline in rental rates in Pensacola for 2024. There's several reasons for our prediction and for the decrease in rents over the last year. One of those is supply. We've seen a lot of supply enter the rental market. One of those is Airbnb owners that did not perform successfully are converting their properties to long-term rentals. We're also seeing a huge increase in new construction build to rent. Now, this has been happening the last 2 years and is continuing right now as we speak with new subdivisions that are being built solely for the purpose of rentals and being rented out. In addition to the single family new construction, we're seeing a lot of townhouses and a huge increase in apartments. Pensacola has been ranked among the top 10 markets for future apartment developments according to the percentage of current supply. So as these multifamily units come on the market, they are offering great incentives. The same with the new construction properties. They're offering 1 month's free rent, 2 months free rent, zero deposit communities. They'll take all animals, really great amenities in the communities. They have pools, gyms, even in the single family communities. So it is hard to compete with those rents. As they are keeping the rents higher on surface, they're offering all these concessions that obviously would bring down the average rent even more if we factored those concessions in. As we mentioned, the sales market is not doing as good as it has been in years past. So some owners are getting impatient and deciding to put those on the rental market, or deciding they don't want to give up their 3% interest rate and would rather hold onto the property long term. So that's also creating an increased supply in the Pensacola rental market. Of course, demand is strong in Pensacola. We have a Naval Air Base, we have several colleges, the University of West Florida, Pensacola State College, the Navy Federal Credit Headquarters, a lot of renters in the area. So we're not worried about demand. Influx and migration is still high, higher than out-migration, although we are seeing some people leave that had moved here for remote work and are now having to find different employment or move back to their hometown. So we do anticipate demand to stay strong for rentals in 2024, especially if the housing market continues to stay soft. The wild card here is what happens to the sales market in 2024. And the other consideration is that many renters simply can't pay the rents of these new properties coming onto the market. So demand in lower rent categories will continue to be strong, but we're seeing a lot of softening in new construction homes, especially in Beulah and Pace, where there are a lot of those new communities that we mentioned. We're also seeing in luxury homes, just more of those coming on the rental market than typical, and softening the higher end prices. Vacancy rates are up, and according to several sources, prior to pre-pandemic levels. Apartment lists listed a 6% nationwide vacancy rate. It's hard to determine that here locally, but we have seen the average number of rentals active on the market exceeding levels from way back to 2017. So it's definitely a huge increase in supply and therefore increase in vacancy, and as we already mentioned, days on the market. So what can you do as a landlord to get your property rented and positioned for success in 2024? Well, there's a lot of things that we're doing in order to decrease our days on the market and remain competitive in the rental market. Number one, you've got to have a great product. As I mentioned, there's so much new construction inventory on the market that people are demanding updated finishes. We also had a lot of house flippers come in the last couple of years, and a lot of the product on the market is updated. So if yours is not, it's going to be overlooked. People do not like wallpaper, wood paneling, outdated paint, old light fixtures, especially kitchen appliances that they use every day. That does affect quality of life. And while in the years past, we could just put up a for rent sign and get anything practically rented at a good value, that will change. We really need your property to be in good condition and updated to attract a premium rent and a premium tenant. Otherwise, you will have longer days on the market. Some of the things that we're doing extra are a lot of video tours, social media. We're even on TikTok now, trying to reach the renters where they are. And you've got to have a marketing strategy, a comprehensive one, to get your property rented. You can't just list it on one website. We're seeing a lot of agents who are not utilizing the Pensacola multiple listing service. That's one thing that we do every time, and we offer a commission to any realtors locally. We've had a huge increase in realtors showing our rental properties because sales are slow for them. You've got to be on Zillow. Everybody's looking on Zillow. On Facebook, we have our own Facebook group where we promote the properties. Just a lot of new technology out there, and you really have to do all of them. So a sign in the yard is not going to cut it. The property has also got to be looking good and priced right. Unfortunately, there's some data out there that suggests rental rates should be higher than they are, and that's based off historical data. And as we mentioned, we're experiencing month over month and year over year rent growth declines, and that will continue. So we can't use last year's rent as a baseline. We do hear a lot of landlords say, well, that's what I had it rented for last year. Unfortunately, the properties we've had people in place for 2 to 3 years, we're still able to get a small increase in the rent. But people that just moved in last year at premium market rent, we are seeing small declines in the next tenant's rental rate. So that's something to consider when you're pricing your property. Don't do that based off active listings. We're seeing a ton of overpriced listings that are not renting. Days on the market like 55, 79, 99, 161. That's months of lost income, and that is not worth, when you financially sit down and think, what is 4 months of lost income on a $1,500 property? You're way better off to position the property at the right price to beginning with, and to adjust if needed, if the activity is slow and the market is telling you that it's still not at the right price. So we continually update listings, market activity. We have counters on all our websites. We monitor how many people are calling, showing, emailing, inquiring online, and we take a factor of that to determine if the property is priced right. We're also seeing a lot of application fraud as rents have gone above what most people can afford. So keep in mind that screening your tenants is something that you need to pay more attention to now than you have in the past. We know that your property expenses have increased. We see the tax bills, the insurance premiums have gone crazy in Florida. We see the maintenance bills coming in higher than they have, parts, labor, and appliances all across the board. So while we hope that rents will remain stable in 2024, we are preparing that they decline. So we're constantly watching the market to make sure that we're priced effectively and that we're doing everything that we can to get your property rented. Reach out if you have any questions. I am kind of a data nerd. I love to talk about statistics. I have spreadsheets that I've been keeping for years. So if you have any additional questions about your rent or what you think your property should be renting for, you're having a hard time getting it rented, reach out to Realty Masters. We're the #1 property management company in Pensacola. For over 10 years, we've leased more homes than any other property manager, and we'll continue to do so. So reach out to us, let us know how we can help you.